Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. I am Jaylee. This is JayLeesCorner, and I've been gone for a week, but I'm back, okay? I was sick, shy with a cold and or the flu, and I said, girl, get back on YouTube. We got to find a GoFundMe, but you ain't got no money or whatever. So here we are together today, okay? I was like, girl, just do Love and Marriage Huntsville Live, just to get back into the algorithm of having content out. So we're doing that first. And then at around 5 p.m. today, maybe 6, I don't know. We're going to have a Hot Topics live chat today because, again, I've been sick since Monday. So I have not talked about anything that happened this week. So that is what we will do next. Okay, look, I know some folks may say, I did not know you was live. I didn't get a notification. Look, when you be gone on YouTube or whatever, it does not tell y'all that we be back around here. But here I am, and I am happy to be back and feeling better and whatnot. Y'all know to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and all that good stuff. If you watching live or the replay, thank you anywhere it goes. Again, I only did this live because I've been gone for a week. And it's easier to come back with a live video than coming back with a pre-recorded, because usually I pre-record Love and Marriage, but I stopped doing live because a lot of us don't watch the show no more. But here I am, okay? I guess I could put some lipstick on. I ain't had lipstick on all week. But how y'all doing? How is everyone today? I was on live last Monday and said, girl, I don't feel good. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. Y'all was live last week on Monday and said, I don't feel too well. I feel sick. I don't feel the best. And I was like, am I sick? Maybe so. I don't know. And then my body said, yes, you're sick. I'm going to bed. And so I have been off work and stuff. I am back at work next week, Wednesday. I'm back Wednesday and whatnot. But again, I'm happy to be around here with y'all to chit chat a little bit about love and marriage, even though my title will always say the show needs to be canceled. Because in one way or the other, I feel, even if the show isn't horrible, with these 2 episodes I saw, I did not review last week's because I felt kind of sick. Okay. And then I was sick. Okay. So I'm doing both episodes 17 and 18 is what we're doing or whatever. I was live Monday. If you ain't watched that, go watch that review. Okay. Go watch the stuff from last week if you have not already, because it is appreciated and whatnot. Okay. Anyway, how y'all doing? Okay, hello to y'all. Okay, so you like the thumbnail. This is a basic thumbnail because I feel like Love and Marriage Huntsville don't really need a thumbnail no more. Okay, do they regular thing? Put somebody up in the corner and make it be a good picture to the foolishness going on around here. Okay, but thank you for liking. Okay, but I am back. Okay, I'm hella look at the horns because the men's on Love and Marriage Huntsville is evil. Okay, I would put horns on Chris and Ken, but I can't not yet. Okay, now I think last time I reviewed the show, I had horns on Tisha and Kimmy. I took them off for right now. I'm gonna probably put them back on sometime this season. Okay, but for sure, them Scott men's and Martell deserve the devil horns all up and through. Okay, it's who they are. Okay, it's who they are. Okay, okay. Look, YouTube be unsubscribing folks. It be cutting off notifications. It'd be a lot. So I always say, look, if you are a JayBird, if you are a subscriber of me, you gotta always make sure you are subscribed. Because YouTube does unsubscribe people from channels. Not as mine. A lot of us have child. We have subscribers, child, and they be gone. We like, what happened? What we do? And they be gone. Okay. But yeah, how y'all doing? I'm here and stuff. Okay. Had the lipstick on. It's been a minute. Okay, I am feeling better. I was posting on my IG, on my stories or whatever during the week in my sickness and stuff. But I'm back, okay? And a good time will be half out. Look, I was like, girl, get into it. So let's do the same. Now, first of all, this is season 10. The one issue I always have with Love and Marriage Huntsville. Okay, now we know Carlos can't get my marriage oblige. What's the 411? Let me know, her in the sweatshirt. The issue I always end up having. I'm trying to fix this shirt so it don't look stupid. The issue I have had with Love and Marriage over the years is we had these two, like part 1 and part 2, part A and part B seasons. This being season 10, episode 17 and 18. And Carlos said like this part of the season has 14 episodes. That is insane. If they had 16 episodes for part 1, and we now have 14 episodes for part 2, that should be 2 different seasons, okay? Because who needs all of that? Because 16 plus 14 is 30. Do 2 seasons, 15 episodes, 15, okay? I don't like it. It's weird to me, and it makes us not stuff that don't be even cohesive enough for me. And once we see like season part A 10, which went off, maybe I was like in December, I don't know, whenever, and it come back as if, oh, it's just the following week. It's like months later. So was everybody on pause? Was everybody on froze? What happened? So Carlos, I know you don't have that much control over how the seasons are broken up, but you need to figure out how to stop having a 30 episode 2-part season that it's too much going on. Okay, that's part 1. Part 2, the outfits. Okay, everybody got some confessional looks. Now I don't know. Well, one, Destiny for sure got a stylist. Okay, her looks this season, what we've seen so far, was cute. Okay, and sometimes her fashion be very questionable, We're gonna be liking it or whatever. We see Kimmy in red with a good old wig weave. Okay, we see Tisha in gold or yellow. Okay, Big Bird style, cute red wig. We have Nell in a little leopard print child, titties out, a good hair around here. Okay, that's probably a weave. It look real cute. Destiny in her red as well, with a little Batman swoosh on the forehead, and a little ponytail. Okay, and then again, Destiny down there in blue. Okay, now the whole openness in the middle is weird to me, but I'm gonna leave that be. But and the hair is too much. It's too big. It's like, is it a wig? I don't. It's too much. Okay. We have Trish. Okay, who did she put on? I think she put on Dexter's ponytail and whatnot. But Trish looks good. Okay, Trish is also got a good stylist. Her makeup is better because whoever was doing her hair and makeup before made her look more harsh, made her look more masculine, and now her femininity is coming out. I love it. Okay, and then again, Nail is in blue as well. I prefer Nail with colored hair. Nail with black hair, it sometimes I don't know, look weird. And even though I think her hair is black in real life, I like her with some color. Okay, this is a little color. Okay. Anyway, so the people came around here and they said, "Girl, we together and we want y'all to talk about us." And I said, "Fine." Okay. So first we seen the scene. It picks up. We see Tisha and Trisha. Is it Trisha? I think it's Trisha, who were meeting up. Now I don't like when anyone in their house in a hat. Go get your hair done. I feel when anyone is in their house in a full-on bucket hat, a full-on beach hat, that means my hair not done. I gotta film. I'ma tape some weave around the hat and wear the hat and make it look normal. Girl, you at home. Girl. Anyway, so Tika is in her feelings about her and Destiny. Now look, I am not a fan of. I'm not a fan of anyone right now. They're all getting on my nerves. My nose still runs, y'all. So I'm gonna be, seeing, putting out tissue to make sure my nose don't be running on camera. So please forgive me. I'm not a fan of anyone in particular this season. They all in one way or the other, they all get on my nerves. Okay. So I feel like Tisha being upset with Destiny still, and this feel like it's been like months later, or at least a month or two later. What you upset for? Okay. And I am like, girl, what? Okay. Oh, I feel like Destiny was taking Nail's side and I don't like it. She defended Nail. Girl, you childish. Wanting someone to take your side if they are friends, when you have two friends beefing, it ain't about picking a side. Both wrong. Nail has her wrong, and so does Tisha. But Tisha wants this blind loyalty, and that she's queen bee, and it's not that. So that made me mad or whatever. Girl, get over it. If y'all hashed it out, why are you upset? You see, she's friends with Nail. Leave it at that. Move on. Okay, and what will happen to me? I'm okay. I don't know. Anyway, so what Trish John was in a car accident. He's okay. Just little bumps and bruises, but he's okay. Also she breathed about her and Ken are at odds. Trisha and Ken's relationship is toxic on all levels. She's toxic and he's toxic, and they're both toxic together. And I don't know why they don't separate. Hers has been real rocky lately, whatever. Ken moved out. He's living with Will or got an apartment or whatever. We have not been discussing marriage at all anymore. Ken got upset because someone told him on social media that they saw me out with some guy. And so that was an argument or whatever. And when Tisha said, girl, I heard things and folks been telling me that Ken also be in here DMing girls or whatever. So I'm like, Tisha, shut up. You know what I'm saying? The fact that folks said your husband be cheating too, I feel like anyone telling anyone on the show, hey, the social media said, the blog said, the fans said, leave it be. Unless you saw something with your own eyes, stop it, because it's bullshit. Either way it go, Ken and Trisha should break up. They should separate. They should part ways and leave it. It's only going to get worse. Okay. Then we see Nell and Chris. So Nell and Chris, things have been challenging with us. The house is different. That's furniture. They had that old, strong wooden furniture from the 30s, 40s, 50s, or whatever that you can't get nowhere now. That's a good industrial type of furniture. Okay, you get it. You got to be carried in on a dolly. You can't just carry it yourself. Whatever. But again, they bring up how the daycare director quit from the thing, or quit or got fired. I don't know. It ain't there no more. 2 new grandkids they've been helping out with. I think Lance has 2 new kids. I don't get why Chris and Nell are so hands-on with their adult kids so much so that it causes Nell stress. I don't get it. That's weird. Okay. And then she also brings up how Lance don't help as much as he used to because he make y'all help him. Also Nell's dad now lives with them. So I'm guessing he must be older, maybe sickly. Okay. Her mom, was older and, had some health issues or whatever and lived with them too. So now her dad lives. Now we don't see the dad, but he's living there. Okay. So we then find out that Chris's real estate license was revoked. Now I was Googling what happens, okay, because it was weird. Because he said, "Well, my license revoked right now. My lawyer told me don't discuss it. So we are in litigate with it. They're trying to investigate and get it fixed. So at first he does not go into any kind of detail about the license or whatever. But the lawyer told him it could take up to 2 years to get it all cleared up. Now, if your job is real estate and you can work for 2 years, you gotta pivot. So I'm like, what else is he doing? I know they got the daycare, they have a cleaning service or whatever, and I think that they may own some houses and whatnot, but I still feel like, well, what else is Chris doing? That's a lot. If your main income is gone for 2 years, that can be child bankruptcy, foreclosure, gotta move type of things. So I don't know. Nell brings up how with Chris not working real estate anymore. The daddy there, the kids, I'm overwhelmed. It's so much going on. I need Chris to get the license back, whatever, because that's a big chunk of our income, and I don't have time, child, to be worrying about money. So he's like, well, I gotta wait. Like I can't do shit because it's on pause. So I'm saying I'm gonna try my best to help, but maybe you can get a partner, okay, at the daycare and whatever to help. He said, "Well, now why the fuck would I do that?" Now Nell owns the daycare; she's the sole owner, and Chris is the sole owner of the real estate license business or whatever. So those are their separate entities. They own together the houses and they own together, I think, the cleaning place. But Nell felt like, why would you want me to partner on my solo endeavor? Because you can't do your shit. Why? I don't need help. I can do it myself. Nell got upset and it confused me because I'm like, I didn't see the disrespectful suggestion of, if we know our income is, cut a little bit because my thing, how about this could help with the other business? I didn't get why she got so offended in that at all, but she did. She's upset, child. She want to cry, and she said she felt like Chris was saying, "You ain't doing enough. So how about you get help from someone else?" And I don't think that's what Chris meant. But again, Nell be flipping out so much. Nell needs therapy. Nell needs grief counseling. Nell needs self-esteem counseling. Nell needs how to not flip out at little things counseling. Nell really needs to go sit down and talk to someone, and not talk at someone, and not yell and vent to someone, But she just sit down and like listen to folk tell her, girl, first calm down, breathe it out, and then let me help you. Now consistently is fussing and cussing. I mean, at home with the kids and with Chris, she complained about things that I feel like is easily solvable, but she lets it build up and build up, and then she explodes. I think Nell likes exploding at home. I think it helps her feel protected, and that's weird. But I really think Nell absolutely needs counseling therapy, just so that she is not so all over the place. Okay, so when Chris said, "Look, every time I turn around, my wife was crying. She's upset about something, and she carries a lot on her shoulders, and I wish she would chill out." And I think his point was she gets upset at little things that's not really an issue. So no matter how much I help or do or make sure things are okay, she's gonna find something to be upset about, and that's kind of hard on me. But I can't let her know how that is hard on me. I just take it all in, suck it all in, and I keep it on myself. But she explodes out. So Chris said, well, baby, look, stop crying. It's okay. I love you. What can I do to help you not be so overwhelmed? I need a nurse, okay, a nanny, and a daycare. I was like, girl, what? Now again, the nurse must be for her daddy, which means she's probably the nurse for her dad at the house. And then the nanny is because the grandkids there. But I don't. Why do you want a nanny for your grandchildren? That should be Land's or whoever the parent is. That should be for them to handle. You should not be carrying the weight of your grandchildren when there's nothing wrong with them kids. All the Chris and those kids are able-bodied individuals who should be able to be parents to their children. And if them being bad parents is hindering you in your life, they have to help. Period. If they have to quit their jobs to be full-time parents, and they're paid through you because they're full-time, if they job full-time, whatever. But I don't get why Chris and Ornell are shouldering the burden of helping the grandkids. I don't know why. We haven't found a reason for that yet. And once you are having mental, emotional distress over grandkids and you're fussing with your husband, that's the time to say, you know what, son or daughter, because I don't know what he is, we need you to come be a parent, because us being the sole helpers of you is hindering our own life. You know what I'm saying? I get grandparents help and grandparents help out and grandparents babysit or whatever. But once the grandparent becomes a parent, it's an issue that has to be addressed. And you can't keep saying yes, 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 yes to helping and then being pissed off that someone is accepting all the yeses. Start saying no. Okay? Yeah, Nell wants to be needed. Overthinks herself and then complains and fusses and cries as if she's been used. I'm like, no, you're offering the help. You're making yourself readily available. You're overdoing it now. Okay. So it was weird. And then even later on, when Nell at the daycare with her daughter, who was stepped in to help be the director of the daycare, she didn't complain, oh, Lance is not helping. He always needs help. The kids are overwhelming or whatever. And I'm like, girl, say no. Land is an adult. Stop it. Okay. Kimmy and Maurice. Now, last time we seen them, they was at the little brunch dinner or whatever. And Maurice was saying how, I want you to be happy even if it ain't with me. And anytime your spouse say, hey, wife, I know we beefing right now. You know what? And because we beefing, I want you to be happy, even if it ain't with me. Who says that? Okay. Now, that being the last time we saw them, a part of me felt like, they have not pivoted because they don't look like a bad couple. Kimmy can say all she wants, how much she loves Maurice and how happy she is. Kimmy's a goddamn lie. Okay. Girl, hold on. Girl, Kimmy, hold on, Kimmy.
She is a goddamn liar. She is a motherfucking liar, is what she is.
It's impossible for you to be happy with Maurice when the things he does publicly aggravates you. Okay? You can't say how happy you are and how much you are happy in your relationship, in this marriage, when you consistently say he said how, the whole when I had cancer, still fucking him. And all these things that he said and done that she's telling him she's not happy with. So how can you then say, here, I love him and I'm so happy, girl, bye. Now they're in therapy, couples counseling or whatever. We in therapy. We're going to be there for a while. I mean, it's working, but we here. So we found that Monster, Maurice's son, his younger son, was going to be going off to college soon. And Maurice then says, well, yeah, so we're going to be empty nesters, okay? And because of that, we would then really, really see if we like each other. I said, again, who says that? Now, Maurice also tries to joke. He's not a comedian. So his jokes come off as just mean-spirited, misogynistic bullshit. And the fact that, and we think about it, when they met, she had Jalen. Martha was living with her mama. And then Martha came to move them. Jalen moved out. Their whole relationship, they've never been alone. There's always been a kid there. So him saying, we'll see if we like them, it's probably true. Because it's all fun and games that there's a kid there to put a space in where our parents and the couple, we can always bounce stuff off of, I'm busy because of the kid. And now they're going to have that. So Kimmy like, well, I think the long time will benefit us. And I'm like, yeah, y'all might get divorced. And I'm not wishing divorce on them. I'm not. I wish Kimmy and Maurice had a happy marriage. But they're at odds over who Maurice is as a person. And I think Kimmy has been able to ignore it because at home in private where no one sees, it's cool he's an asshole. But now because it's seen over the internet and TV in the world, it's harder to ignore his flaws and his antics and his misogynistic behavior. She can't ignore it as much now because we see it and we point it out. And then she sees it and she points it out, whatever. So when she brings up how, at the last little dinner, whatever, you brought up how, you want me to be happy, even if I'm not with you. Like, who wants their spouse to say that? You know what I'm saying? Even if you felt that, you should think before you speak when it comes to you discussing me as your wife. You should think of how it will come off, how it will make me feel before it's. But he ain't gonna do that because Maurice feel like I can say what I want because I'm being honest. Even if my honesty hurts my wife, she should say, okay, it's fine, baby. You've been honest. And I'm like, but that's who he is as a person. And you've always known that, Kimmy, so you can't expect him to want to filter himself because publicly you don't want to be seen as his doormat, in my opinion. He brings up, I do think you should be happy. You deserve happiness, even if it ain't with me. So whatever you feel makes you feel good, you know what I'm saying? You should go do that, okay? If you're unhappy with me, you should go be happy. And I was like, girl, he's telling you now, I'm not going to change. If how I am and if who I am as a person hurts you and makes you unhappy, you can't be with me because I ain't going to change. That's what it means, in my opinion. It means I know what aggravates you. I know my feelings and thoughts and expressions hurt your feelings, but I can't change. So who I am makes you unhappy. I want you to be happy with somebody else. And that's sad. Okay. And then she's like, I want you to be like, well, no, I'm going to be better. Don't say, yeah, go be happy somewhere else. Why not say, I'll be better? Because he won't. He won't. I feel like, ever since they've been on the show, Maurice has never evolved into this better person, into a more understanding, more compassionate. He's gotten worse since season 1. I think he's gravitated to being authentically himself. I think he feels I don't have to hold back my assholeness. Because no matter what I do, she gonna love me anyway. So it's like he's not going to change. So him saying I'll be better is a lie. You know what I'm saying? And so when I love you, Maurice. I love you. I'm in love with you. Okay. I love our life. I love our relationship. But I'm like, girl, Kimmy,
She is a goddamn liar. She is a motherfucking liar, is what she is.
you can't be happy because we see you upset and we see you distraught and we see you frustrated. And then part of that comes from unhappiness with how he reacts, how he speaks, and how he treats you. You may love him, yeah, but you are not happy in your marriage because your husband consistently does shit that pisses you off. Okay, so whatever. And so you say some fucked up things, and I do too. Whatever. We both say things and do things that make each other mad. However, you know what I'm saying, it does not mean I don't want to work things out, and that's cool because no marriage or any kind of relationship is perfect. They will always look. The person you're around the most will always aggravate you, but at their core, they should be good people. They should mean you no harm, and they should knowingly not say and do things that will bring hurt and pain to you. Okay. And Maurice has consistently done that. He consistently kind of dismisses things that he know Kimmy won't like because he feels like I'm just being honest, you know? And so I want us both to be better. You know what I'm saying? I'm not unhappy, but I need you to be more mindful of what you say. He ain't gonna do that though. So if you know the wild dog was gonna run the streets, okay, barking up a storm, you can't say I want a peaceful house, not when there's a wild dog outside running around. You can't want peace if you have someone in your life who is chaotic. And that just means he's not going to think before he speaks. He's not going to try to placate your feelings. He's not going to be mindful of what he says because he thinks before he speaks already. Maurice fully thinks out what he's gonna say. He's not just saying shit out the blue. He thinks about it and thinks, you know what, this is great. You know what? I'm gonna say I love sex. And even though my wife is going through chemo, I still want sex. And she knows. So him thinking that and then doubling down on these things. He knows it shows you he knows exactly what he's saying. And he's thinking about it. He's like, but this is my truth. So girl, he won't be mindful. He hasn't before, he won't after. He said some dumb shit over these 10 seasons. And if you think now saying, I need you to be more mindful of what you say. Girl, you said that before. Every season, even when they were calling you a side piece and saying, you know, you, him, and Kaiwa, how he was a side piece. And even the fact that he did not check people who was jokingly calling you a side piece because he thought it was funny. You know what I'm saying? So the only time Maurice has checked something is if it had to do with him. When he checked Tiffany and Lewis about them commenting about Monica vaping or whatever, because that was him protecting them. It had nothing to do with you. Maurice rarely checks anything that is in defense of Kimmy and how she feels. Because the moment he was on Carlos King's interview, because she brought it up to him saying that part on the interview with Carlos King, the moment he saw how upset and the backlash of what he said about Kimmy and the sex and the cancer thing make her feel, he never ever like, you know what, I'm sorry, I was totally, it was inappropriate, whatever. He never checked it. He did double down on it. Despite how it made Kimmy feel, how it made her look, He didn't care. So, girl, if you like it, bitch, you love it, okay? And so he then, so I do say dumb shit. Okay, I know it bothers you for a while, a long time. It bothers you, okay? I'm now learning how to make sure I don't say stuff that will bother you. I'll be better. Girl, he's lying. He's lying, okay? Um, Maurice, when him and Kimmy have these sit down talks, Maurice should be talking. Maurice be talking just so Kimmy can't say he doesn't communicate. And that's what's fucked up. If we seen every time Kimmy and Maurice talked, they're one of them evolved. But y'all have the same conversation about different topics. But still, it's always something, Maurice, is either saying, not saying, but it's the same premise of him not being a supportive spouse to his wife in some way, and how she needs him to communicate better, to be better. It's the same thing. So Maurice says words and talks just to say, we talked about it. I told you this and that or whatever, but he ain't changing. And that's the thing. Change behavior is what matters. I can ask you 10,000 times in 10 different ways, hey, babe, I need that. And if every time you say, okay, babe, sure. If you never change, if you never evolve, you're just fucking with me. You're not he's not changing. He's getting worse. We used to like Maurice. Like season 1, maybe season 2, Maurice was the rational one. We liked Kimmy and Maurice's marriage in the beginning. And then little by little, we was like, wait a minute. Maurice is kind of worse than Marcel. And Marcel started to know not to say too much. And now we think Marcel is funny. So it's weird to me that Kimmy don't see you and Maurice's overall agenda of trying to be, have this work on. It's gotten worse to us as viewers. But if you like it, I love it. Okay. And when Kimmy says, I love you, he said, I know, and I need you to know I love you too. When you have to say to your wife, I need you to know I love you. Why would she not know that? Like, why would your wife not know you love her? You know what I'm saying? And when her response was, I know that you would do anything for me. Girl, so would a firefighter. Okay? So well, okay, fine. He, girl. But again, Kimmy, girl. Girl.
She is a goddamn liar. She is a motherfucking liar, is what she is.
Anyway, Destiny. Now look, Destiny has been on the show since season 2, season 3. We have never really gotten people's issue with Destiny in the beginning was she doesn't show her life. We don't know anything. Nothing seems real. And she had that marriage, had that baby, had that divorce. And we never got to know. All we knew, she's from Detroit. She consistently had long distance relationships, and she be filling her business. That's really it. Okay, I think this season she's finally exposing some family drama, from her past. Not nothing current per se, but where she came from. So she meets with her daddy. Okay, it's her daddy, and her daddy's best friends. Now, a part of me feel like, is that his girlfriend? Okay, because she's been around forever. Because Destiny moved her daddy when she was like, Destiny moved her daddy when she was like 5, and so this lady, this friend has been around ever since then. A part of me feel like they was fucking. Okay, most men back in the day did not have female best friends who was helping them raise their daughter, who kind of lived there, you that mean it was some fucking going on. Okay, now they still cool to this day. That's fine. And she called her like mama. Girl, is your daddy girlfriend? Anyway, so she brings up to her daddy, her and the best friend, how she's going to Detroit to meet her brothers and sisters. So her mom had 8 children in total. Okay, 8 kids, different daddies. That's fine. Her mama is like currently on drugs. So she said we still get like part of the story. I was with my mom until I was 5. Me and my brother. You know, I moved my daddy at 5. My daddy wanted to take me and my brother, but my grandma when I let him. I don't know which grandma she meant. If she meant her mama's mom or her dad's mom, I don't know. But a grandmama would not let the daddy take the brother who was not his child, and so her and her brother were separated. Now her brother has since passed away. We don't know how. May you rest in peace. But her and the brother were the only 2 kids the mama kept. The other 6 kids all were the foster care and were adopted out or whatever. She only kept her and one brother. So these other 6 kids she's never met. So it's been like 27, 28 years. The mama who had all these kids who don't know their mama, don't know Destiny. And over the years, she's been looking for her siblings. So she's found all of them now. And so she's going to Detroit to meet the mama. No, not meet, because she know her mama. And she's like, I haven't seen my mama like 4 years. So she know her mama. But all the other 6 siblings don't know the mama. So again, that's what's going on with her. And am I happy she's, showing, pieces of her life that we don't know about? Sure. I'm happy she's finally opening up about something and having her own storyline. Now, again, do I wish it was more about what she has going on in her life, in her city, in her house? Sure. But if you have nothing else going on, if you don't have a business you're doing, if you're not leasing houses, if you're not, because ain't you supposed to say, so again, if she's not showing marriage in her life, any relationship in her life, any business in her life, I guess give us the drug out mama and the kids that was put up for adoption. I can't, beggars can't be choosers. I'm leaving me, okay? So I guess it's fine. So her brother who passed away, the 6 kids, the drugged out mama is her thing now. That's what she's gonna be discussing. I guess it's fine. When she has the daddy, well, Dad, you want to come back with me and talk to mama? He said, no. I want to remember how she was. I never thought that she would be on drugs or whatever. And I don't know if it was crack, heroin. I don't know. We don't know what the drug is or was. It seemed like whatever addiction the mom has may be still a piece of her life. She may not be fully clean from the drugs or whatever. She brought up how they have a volatile relationship. Sometimes the mom is cool, sometimes she isn't. So I do want to see how it all plays out. But again, I'm like, but what do you have going on at home? Because you're going to meet stranger siblings. When you I'm a firm believer in, blood. Yes, it makes you family. But I feel like if I'm 40 and my mama had 6 kids, I don't know, and I don't know them at all. I don't fully feel like now I'm going to have this bond with these kids. Like I have half siblings from my bio dad. And I mean, I know them. I have their numbers, but we don't talk like that. Cause we weren't raised together. There's a big age gap, you know what I'm saying, or whatever. So for me, it's always weird when people want to connect with people they've never met. You know what I'm saying? Because their parent had other kids. I don't know. But again, I hope she gets whatever she's looking for and whatnot. But again, when she said how the mama feel like she has authority because she's a mom And so she has I get respect. And when she said, well, nah, because you ain't raised us, I do think parents who have kids they don't raise, because my biographer had this too. You can't feel like you are the parent. You're not. I mean, you birth, you helped me get here, sure, but you haven't put in the work. So her saying like I was with you till I was 5, I was gone, but you weren't a parent to me in the aspect of I have to respect you because you are my mom. Barely, it's a title, but you didn't put the work in. You know what I'm saying? So we're gonna see how it goes. And I think we'll see that in the 3rd episode. Now, Martell. Now I don't know why Martell is still here. When we see most of the preview for the season, we don't really see him at all. So he here doing nothing, and I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible, because the only reason I think he's still here is they want folk to hate him. You know what I'm saying? And he gonna say dumb shit that folks won't like, and so that's why he's here. But I'm like, girl, where your house at? Where the kids at? Where your girlfriend at? Okay, nothing. Anyway, he like, I got new businesses going on. I got, me and the kids, definitely the kids. I got a new relationship. Now he don't say who he dating. We don't know who he means. Is it coleslaw? Is it somebody else? But even Martell jokingly or for real trying to say he's dating someone, a part of me feel like they'll never bring coleslaw on the show. Even with Mel being gone and him and her and Martell being divorced or whatever, I don't feel like the show would ever bring her on, because to me it would break the show already is not that great. You know what I'm saying? However, to bring on the woman who ruined the marriage with Martell, who has kind of harassed not only Mel but also the other wives and husbands on the show based on stuff Martell told her, I don't see them ever allowing her on as a cast member, because Tisha and Kimmy and them ain't going to hang out with her. So I feel like I don't know who Martell can be dating, but they won't bring her on the show, my opinion. Okay, but he meets up with Ken and Chris at the car wash. Where your house at? You know what I'm saying? Martell keeps bringing up how because he built that house from 2 or 3 seasons back when Moses and was it Sunshine? No, Sunny. When Moses and Sunny was on here and Martell had that house building, that house ain't sold yet. That was like 2 years ago. Okay, that was about at least a year or 2 ago, where that house was fully built and all that shit. So the fact that the house ain't been sold yet speaks volumes to me. But again, Chris can't sell the house because he lost his license. He said Destiny was supposed to call him back, but she ain't did it either. So again, I'm like, Destiny, why can't you selling houses? Why would you not? If you really want to show what's going on in the city that you live in, why not? Yes, do showings of Martell's house. At least that's something. I digress. But again, he said she ain't called me, whatever. I don't know what's going on. It's bullshit. So when Chris mentions his license was revoked, he kind of gives us a little bit of insight. Because before he was like, I can't discuss it. But he does say he was trying to help someone. Okay, a friend. I was trying to look out for somebody. Okay, I feel like they set me up. You know what I'm saying? Because I was trying to help them, and then they went to the commission, and now I'm fighting to get my license back. So again, on social media, I've seen someone post that Chris was found guilty of something and fined like $10K, and in all of that, they also revoked his license. But it doesn't say what he did, but something happened. But I'm like, why would you try to look out for somebody who you either don't know or would like hurt? Anyway, we don't know who it is or what happened. But again, that's what happened. He tried to look out for someone who then went to the commission about him, which probably means we agreed for some kind of hookup. And because I don't like what I got out the hookup, now I'm a stitch. And Chris probably knew whatever he was doing wasn't fully legal, wasn't fully following the rules, but he felt like if I do it with somebody I know and I'm helping, I ain't gonna get in trouble. And they told. Again, you can't do that. Okay, I always say do your dirt by your lonesome. Okay, when you do any kind of dirt with someone, they get you caught. Okay, Kimber got him and Trish still beefing. Okay, ain't no peace in the house. It's beefing. I go home. It's not peaceful, so I moved out. Okay, I moved out or whatever. Got my own place to think, to like get through things or whatever. But it's hard to leave her alone because I love her. And I'm like, sir, you're dumb. Okay. Now, when he said, when you love someone, you don't leave. You do. You do. I don't understand wanting to stay with someone who's still legally married, who has lots of trauma from that marriage, and is not ready for a new nothing. But Ken uses the excuse that I love her. Yeah, but does she love you? Okay. When there's no peace at home, there's no reason to stay. Okay. You're trying to fix something that's so broken, the pieces cannot be put together again. There's too many cracks in it. And he wants to say because he loves her, I just can't walk away fully. I leave, I come back, I'm not really done. But I love her. Okay. And Martell, dumbass, gonna say, you know what? You need to get you a younger woman. Okay. You need someone who is like 20 in her 20s. I'm like, bitch, Martell suggesting to get a young girl. What? That shows you how toxic he is. Because what? And when kids said, nah, I think anybody under 30, they be slow. I said, first of all, slow. You slow. Hell, Trisha's slow. With coleslaw slow. Age has nothing to do with slowness, okay? Y'all, Martell picked a childish woman, whereas in coleslaw, whereas Ken and Trish is childishly hurt. And so Trish may be in her 30s, but she acts like a 20-year-old girl who's pissed at her ex-boyfriend. And it's weird, okay? And when Christian say, why would someone want someone younger? It's like to control them? And then Martell said, well, yeah, we have to, we need to control these women. Because if not, they can control you. I was like, girl, that's why Martell is in what he's in. Because he had the mindset of, if I get someone young and dumb, I can run the relationship, not knowing it's still a dumb situationship. Okay, you are not in any better predicament with coleslaw than you with male. You're in a worse off thing now than before because you chose a young, dumb, and broad. Okay, but Kim, I'm not gonna give up. You can't give up on love. You know what I'm saying? I know people think is dumb, but no, you can't just walk away from love. Okay, you have to. No. And when Martell then say, you know what, women think to move on because they think they'll find better and they have other options or whatever, but they don't. All the men won't. Men might be DMing you or whatever, but they just want to fuck you. You would know. You was out there DMing people to fuck them. So you are describing yourself, Martell, but I digress. And it was weird. So Martell said, we came here to the end. I'm gonna lock my wife down. Okay, she can't go nowhere alone. I'm gonna be paying the bill because a woman want a man to take girl. Again, they keep Martell here to say stupid shit, to aggravate the fans who know Martell is still operating from his young dumb era. Okay, he thinks Martell. Look, I'm not calling him like a pedophile or whatever. Martell likes young women because Martell is too stupid to be able to functionally be with an adult woman with brains. That's why Mel left. I think him and Mel were like on the same level a little bit, but Mel, as she matured, she was like, what the fuck? What is he doing? You know what I'm saying? Martell has not evolved as an adult. He still operates from a young, dumb, full of cum mindset. Get you a young girl who you can control, okay? Pay some bills, buy her some K Swiss and some tennis skirts, whatever, and get her some Skittles, and she's good. Not knowing, no, that's stupid. That's dumb. Okay. But again, that's Martell. Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny have a little Taco Tuesday meetup. And I need everyone to know Kimmy, Tisha, and Destiny are not friends. They're not. Kimmy only tolerates Tisha because they're sister-in-laws. They all only hang out together because they're on the same show. So them trying to make us, oh, it's the girls hanging out. No, you're filming a show. And that's it. And in real life, if we don't really rock, I'm not trying to hang out with you at all. So Kimmy teaching there first. And when they kind of, oh yeah, business is slow right now with their website or whatever. And then when she brings up how we have a house we're building, and the house is. Let me show you something, because she showed this house, right? And a part of me was like, her and Marceau have been building this house since 2024. And so he's telling Kimmy how yes, this house we're building, and we're gonna sell it soon. We need a realtor who works residential, because she said, I don't know residential. And I won't show it on here because I was confused. And it's this house they keep discussing, right? And when she tells Kimmy how she's looking for a realtor who works with residential, Kimmy like, well, bitch, what about me? Like, I'm a realtor. I do residential. Why would you not want to partner with me? And because she's petty. Okay. But this is the house she keeps showing. Y'all, this is from July of 2025. Okay. They had been building this one house in a residential area for damn near 2 years, since 2024. And what's crazy is you see how that's a big, nice house, but it's in a residential area with one-story homes that are like modest. When you build something huge in a residential area, it looks stupid. It's out of place. You're building something in an area that doesn't match. It's like if you put a porta potty in a kitchen. Who puts a porta? It don't go there. The porta potty goes outside in the backyard. It doesn't matter. So this is from, again, if you see the house, the child look at the block. That is a regular neighborhood where the houses are one-story family homes. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. Why are y'all building this commercial type of mini mansion type of glass house, Miami feel house in the middle of a regular family-oriented one-story house, maybe a little two-story house, but it doesn't match? And that to me shows they're dumb, because who wants to buy a house if they're the only mailbox in the middle of water fountains? Okay, if you want to build a water fountain, why would you put it between two mailboxes? It don't go there. It's weird. And when I kept thinking, well, wait a minute, they've been building this house for a long, long time. This is from December 2024. And they've been building the same house for a long time. And if you're just now trying to sell it and it's still not finished, and it's child, look at house next door. Little fence, little garage, it doesn't match. And to me, that shows y'all are stupid. Y'all is dumb. I don't know. So even her saying we're not used to real estate in residential areas, I can tell because who builds a mini mansion? This is from June of 2024. So again, it's almost been 2 years for one house. So I'm not being a hater. All I'm saying is make it make sense. If I lived in this neighborhood and it's been one house being built, this huge monstrosity for 2 years, but I'm moving. I'm moving. And it's weird. Anyway, that was my opinion on things. Okay. So Kimmy's upset because, oh, why not use me? Well, because I'm gonna be selling it myself, and they're gonna show it. Whatever, lies she tells. So we then see Destiny get there. Now, again, this comes off as they have not seen each other since that winery trip, which happened about a month or so ago, like weeks and weeks and weeks prior. So this should really be a whole new season, not a part 2 of season 10, because it's been a month or so between filming or whatever. So you can tell it's intention, okay, both from Destiny and from Tisha. But Kimmy likes to make it seem like, well, Destiny walked in, a little bit uptight, or she walked in on the defense. No, I think she walked in knowing you two hoes is doublemint twins and gonna try to team up against me. And so I'm just trying to say what's going on. Now, if y'all already squash shit at the winery, there should be no issue here. But I do feel like both Tisha and Destiny both kind of brought it back up in a way. But Tisha's still mad about, I feel like you took Nell's side and defended Nell. And I don't like that. Girl, why? Well, you can't be in the middle. You either be in the middle or pick a side. If she picked Nell's side, she picked Nell's side. Get over it. You know what I'm saying? But still being upset because Nell's friend was trying to support Nell is stupid. It's dumb. She has known Nell longer. So why do you think her loyalty lies with you? And if you and Kimmy are, buddy supporting of each other, why can't she be supportive of Nell? I don't know who told Tisha that she is the glue or that she is the queen bee, but she isn't. But she gives off, I think I run shit, and she gets upset if she does not get her way. And that's childish in my opinion. And when they said, well, when did I defend Nell? Like, what did I defend? Like, what did I say? If you want to hold me accountable, what did I say that was defensive of Nell and against you? Well, I don't have to remember what you said. Yes, you do. You can't be upset over what I said if you don't know what I said. Then how are you upset? You can't stay mad at something that you don't remember that happened. You know what I'm saying? But she wants to hold on to, but I feel, bitch, your feelings are not facts. Feelings are not facts. And Tisha wants people to take her feelings as facts. Girl, how you feel. But if you can't give an example of what I said that was offensive to you, get out of my face. Okay? And when she said, well, you should have to, like, you should receive or get how you feel. Well, I did at the winery. We discussed it. So why are we here? Like, why we going again? I already did that, okay? And so I came here with good energy, and now it's some bullshit. I mean, I know now I don't have it, but again, whatever. So they're back and forth. I think at one point she said, y'all ganging up on me, because they were. Tisha and Kimmy like to double team people and then say, well, we're not ganging up, but y'all are. Because when you are piggybacking off how Tisha feels, Kimmy, and Tisha is asking her for input, y'all are double teaming one person. That's a gang up. So they consistently, they've always done this. And when anyone calls them out, they make it seem as if like we're tripping. It's like, no, bitch. I don't care. Oh, now you just take time, and now you're gonna leave here and go, cry to worry about us getting up on you. She said, I'm grown. Okay, I don't have to run anybody's anything. I don't care. Look, whatever. And it's a lot of back and forth of them arguing and fussing. And when teacher brings up how even when you and Martell's friendship, I feel like, because you know him longer, you've known Nell longer, and so it makes me question you if you put those friendships up over ours. And I was like, well, but she ain't did that. Like, you're implying she might do something that she ain't did. And so she said, but have I shown you that, teacher? Have I done that? Because what else? What else? I haven't done that. I'm not gonna kiss your ass. I'm not gonna grovel. But you're complaining about something that I have not done. You know what I'm saying? And so it's bullshit. Well, so you're dismissing my feelings and blah blah. Girl, it was bullshit. Not teacher yelling and fussing, and she's like, why are you yelling at me? So they're back and forth or whatever. And then when Kimmy said, "But now, I mean, listen, did you tell Nell that what she said about Martell was wrong?" She's like, "Well, yeah, I did. I never said Nell was right. I never did. I did tell her it was wrong. However, I don't know what y'all want me to do." Okay, so again, now they're making it. Oh well, now we can just okay. Well, let's change the subject, girl. So y'all done fuss and yelled and cuss at each other. Y'all not friends. Y'all are actually foes. And Tisha is the ops. Because Tisha will find beef with anyone who doesn't do what she wants them to do. Because Tisha wants anyone Tisha doesn't like or she think don't like her. She doesn't want other people being friends with her. And you can't expect blind loyalty from people. That's just stupid. So when they say, okay, it's fine, we're done, it's squash. Are you sure, Tisha? Well, yeah. Because now I know how to put folks in boxes. Oh, what box am I in? When she said, oh, you're in the don't trust that whole box, I was like, I wish someone would say to me, they put me in the don't trust that whole box. And they think we could, no. And, oh, I'm joking. She said, girl, it's a bit of truth in every joke. And that's why I'm like, they're not friends because no one says that to their friend after an argument because you meant that shit. You meant it. But again, they all want to check for the show. So fine. Okay. And then when she said, well, Marcel told me that anybody who is a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. She said, well, Marcel was friendly with everybody. So he's the example of that. Okay. He's friendly with everyone. So what do you mean? And she said, well, I feel like you have a good bond with people who don't like me. So what? That's a you problem. If people don't like you, that has nothing to do with me. Because the people who I'm friends with were your friends at one point too. Y'all feel out what that got to do with me. Okay. And they both crying. Okay. Weird shit. Oh, I'm not gonna cry. They hug it out. Only for Daddy to bring up how she's going to Detroit to meet her family. And now Kimmy and Tisha we're gonna go to. If you just told me you're gonna put me in a whole I don't trust you box, why would you then say you want to come with me to meet my siblings and my mom? Like, I don't want anyone with me on that kind of journey who don't trust me and who questions my character. Girl, never. Tisha is an op. She's an op. She's always in complete opposition of anyone she feels won't kiss her ass, and that's just stupid. So we then see when Debbie goes and she talks to Trisha and said, "Girl, I met with Kimmy and Trisha, Tisha," and so again, she said, "I'm not gonna go run and talk." What she did, okay, told Trisha. Now Trisha, you'll pick me because when she said, well, "Girl, Tisha and Kimmy was both coming at me," and I said, "Hey, y'all are ganging up on me," and for Trisha to say, well, I don't think in her confessional, not to Disney, in the confessional, I don't see Kimmy or Tisha ganging up on, but you've seen it. You've seen them two both going at someone at the same time. That is them ganging up on someone. It is. So you making it seem as if we don't, girl, I don't care. It's weird to me. And that was it. Again, she said, me and Kid got issues, girl. Fine. Forever. Tisha and Marcel, they're talking at the house they're building. That will never sell. And again, they 2024 house has been pending. But again, she had me and Kimmy went to see Destiny, whatever. Kimmy was upset that I didn't want to ask her to work with me on this house being sold because she's a residential broker or whatever. When she bring up how, well, the reason is when Kimmy got her license in real estate, she suggested, hey, get your broker license, and then me and you can go in business together. And King said back then, I don't want to do that right now, at all. But that was years ago. Okay, she said, but then Kimmy went and got her broker's license or whatever and opened her own business. And so I assumed Kimmy, that meant she did not want to work with me. That means to me, Tisha held a grudge for years. Because if I asked someone 6 years ago, hey, let's do this. And at that time, they didn't want to. But then years later, they went and did it. I don't care. You don't have to want to have a business with me for us to not be able to work together. Sometimes I think her point was she did not want to be in business with you as partners. But if you have a house for sale, why wouldn't you cheat your sister-in-law? Again, Tisha holds grudges because who brings up, well, years ago, she went to the inside. I just felt you held on to it. She's childish. She's petty. Okay, grow up, Caroline. So she then does something about the fight with Destiny. And she thought we was ganging up on her, and I told her she's a bitch I don't trust in that box, whatever. And so I don't know how to feel. Now she played victim. She made it seem like Destiny was like, coming at her, and she felt like, I don't know what to do. She's my friend. I don't know. And he said, you are 43. You are an adult. At this age, people are who they are. So do what you're gonna do with that. But I don't know. If you don't trust her, that's how it is. You know what I'm saying? And she then said, well, also she brought up us going with her to Detroit. And so we're going. He said, so a woman you told is in a don't trust that box, you're gonna then go with her to support on a road trip? That's weird. And he's just, yeah, but we're all going. And I was like, again, it's weird because if you don't like Destiny and you don't trust her and you don't know how to feel about her, why would you go support her for a check? And Marceau, who knows that's crazy, I think when he said you grown, you 43 or whatever, to me his point was you're being childish. You know exactly what it is, but you are being childish, girl, move on. And then at Kimmy and Maurice's house, they're talking, kind of same thing. And Kimmy brings up, well, you had a little dinner, whatever. You know what I'm saying? What she said, Kimmy was like, Tisha wants loyalty. You know what I'm saying? And she won't say out loud, hey, I don't want you befriending so-and-so they like me. She won't say that, but she'll feel that. And so again, Tisha works off her feelings, not off the facts at all. So you can't expect me to not be friends with somebody I'm already friends with. You can't then hold it against me that you won't tell me that you're being childish. It's weird. But the fact that Kimmy knows Tisha is being childish and she won't acknowledge it is why Kimmy's also a pick me. So for a check. I don't care. So then they say, yeah, we're all going to Detroit. I guess so. The Scott brothers. We see Marceau, Maurice, meet with Micah. And this to me showed how flawed and how delusional and how horrible the brothers are. Because Maurice and them was over there because he wanted to say, well, Kimmy said, she loved it when I was working with my hands and building things or whatever. And now I don't do that. She's not as turned on. But I'm not going backwards. I'm not going to go and do manual labor. And so that's the issue. And Micah, to me, was like, well, no, what she meant was she wants more time with you. Because the fact that Micah fully got Drew's point and Maurice did not show us Maurice is stupid. Okay. Because he's like, she told you while spending time with you doing these things that made her like being with you. And now y'all don't have that anymore. So it's not that she wants you to go build a house. However, she wants y'all to spend time together so that way she can like want you more. And he was like, I don't think that's what she meant. She told you that's what she meant. Okay, Marcel jokingly says, well, no, Kimmy wants you to go be sweaty, build a house, and then that's what she wants. I'm like, y'all all up. And when Micah then said, well, you know what, try it both ways. And then when everyone gives you a blowjob, that's now what? These Scott brothers are diabolical assholes. Micah is saying, well, no, do them both and see which one gets your blowjob. Like, what? Lastly, Ken and Trisha go to therapy. Now, again, what we did not know was Ken and Trisha had been broken up, basically. Ken had moved out. As he tells us within this scene, he had not talked to her in 3 months. He's unhappy. Ken is an unhappy fool because he refused to leave. Ken wants to act like I'm this great guy. I love this woman who's battered and bruised emotionally. I love her kids, okay? And she just won't be right for me. You know what I'm saying? And Trisha felt like, well, he only brings up my ex-husband. You can't be a married woman and refuse to divorce your husband and then get upset when your boyfriend wants to discuss your husband. Like, your husband is a third wheel in your relationship because he's the husband, okay? And so when Ken said, well, Trisha is very much so closed off. You say she's hard to talk to. She shuts down. And so when she shuts down, I do too. And then we just don't communicate. So she said, well, I put myself in a little safe space. I'm in a little safe space, whatever. It's my little box. And I pick and choose when I want to come out. And if I don't feel safe, I go back in my box. And she said, I thought it was to protect me or protect everyone around me, but I think I just blocked myself off. At least she knows she is blocked off to everyone, her kids, her family, friends. Trisha is very much so a closed off, wounded Bambi deer in the forest, hoping no one eats her. And I don't think she thinks it's an issue with that, but it is. And so when Dr. Frank said, well, Ken, were you ever in the safe space with her? He said, well, no, I wasn't. I tried to talk to her, but it's so hard to get her because she's in this little box. And I'm like, when Ken, I don't get how they even got in a relationship, because if he says she doesn't communicate well and she doesn't talk much, how did y'all get together? They must have just been fucking and working out. I don't think there was any communication. I think they were two attractive people who was horny, fuck, and worked out. And that's what they think is a relationship. But y'all don't talk. Y'all don't eat. There's no communication. It's nothing. I don't even think they like each other. It's weird. And then she's like, well, I love her. You know what I'm saying? But she acts so tough, but she isn't. You know what I'm saying? She acts as if she's so over things or whatever, but she's not. You know what I'm saying? That's a facade that she puts on. She even acts as if she's over her husband, but she isn't. I'm like, so she is not over her husband. She acted like there was no connection, but it was. So that, and you refuse to leave her alone. So again, where did y'all build any bond besides fucking and working out? Because anything else y'all have discussed about y'all has been hardship and turmoil and bullshit. And then, when she said, it was weird because she was like, he said she reacts to me as if I'm her husband. You know what I'm saying? She argues consistently, whatever. It's rude. She does it to me because that's how she did him. And I'm like, you can't treat me how you do your husband. I'm like, once you have to compare yourself to your girlfriend's husband, and you have for the past 3 years, it's time to leave because it's broken. And I told her I'm not her husband. We know you're not her husband, but again, he refused to leave. You know what I'm saying? He said she's hot and cold every day, whatever. It's emotional, whatever. It's crazy. Nothing seems happy with them. Again, fucking working out. That's it. Everything else, toxic. And then when Dr. First was like, well, so she gets angry about her husband and project that onto you. No, that's not true. I don't do that. I don't discuss. I don't talk about. They was like, that ain't what I said. He's like, are you listening? You know what I'm saying? And now they fussing back and forth. You don't talk about him, but the anger you have with him comes at me because you're mad at him, and I'm not him. You know what I'm saying? He said, we ain't talked 3 months. I'm like, why? If y'all have not talked in 3 months, why y'all here? Why y'all here? You know what I'm saying? He then brings about your anger, is this, you have anger for him is valid, but you put it at me. You know what I'm saying? And then she's denying having any anger towards Marquez, her husband. And then they're kind of fussing back and forth. Ken then say she's like a pathological liar, and she's lying. As he say, I try to talk to her. I ask her questions, and she said they're accusations. And it's weird. Okay, no, because one time he said I was at the gym, and he thought I was at someone's bedroom or whatever, and it's weird. And again, they're fussing back and forth because he feels like, well, I'm trying to talk to her, and she won't answer me with my regular questions. And she feel like he accused me of things like cheating, he accused me of lying, saying I'm at the gym, but the machine sounds like a bed, and I must be in the bedroom. How he accused her of like possibly fucking somebody else in the bed because the bed was messed up. And he like, you're a compulsive liar. She's always lying. Again, why y'all together? Anyone I'm dating who loves me would never say, oh, I'm a compulsive liar. So again, I don't know who got them together. I don't know how it happened, but this session here shows y'all not in love. Y'all not. Y'all been fucking for a while, and neither one of y'all want to leave. Trisha because she just don't care, and Kim because I don't know. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it goes off. I don't. Trisha does not need to be in any type of relationship. Ken is not innocent. Ken knows she's a broken bird. He knows her wing is broken. She can't fly. And he wants to use that as an excuse. Because I know he's broken. I'm trying to be soft and gentle because she's so broken. But he's using her brokenness as a reason to stay. And he know he shouldn't be there. He know it is a unhealthy dynamic. It's not good for her kids. And he makes himself the hero because I'm a good man. I'm still here putting up with it. But you're also aiding in the toxicness with her because Ken calling her a liar like that, that showed me a bit of how when they argue, he just as bad as she is. So he wants to make it seem as if, oh, she's so angry, but he is too. I'm so calm. I don't get upset. Yes, you do. Because here you got very pissed. And that was how you were around cameras. I can't imagine how it is when cameras are not rolling. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, y'all both on my goddamn nerves. All up until, okay. Hell y'all, that's it. Okay, look, I haven't got here because I have a live again. I'm gonna probably push my gossip chats to 6 p.m. today. Because I don't want to go on at 5. But again, I'm not sick anymore. I am back and whatnot. I did this live just to get a video out there. Y'all make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Okay, I gotta go. But again, I'll be live today at 6 p.m. Eastern time for a hot topic chat. I hope to see y'all there. Do not be a Ken or Trisha. Okay, do not be Tisha or Kimmy. Do not be these fools around here. Okay, I gotta go. Bye. One wrong outro.